go. And we talked a little bit over the break, and I think we reset our expectations maybe a little. I'm always the glasses half full kind of girl. Heroic clutched it out on their map pick. That is good. But Devilwalk, you said, actually, we saw a lot of good things from Ence, and this was to be expected because it was Heroic's map pick, and they let Ence get back into this game and give them even a fighting chance to get to that overtime, and that is changing your perspective a little bit for Mirage.
Yeah, I think, you know, they had such a good start. I mean, going 8-0 up and ending on the T side of Overpass, which is extremely difficult to grind rounds out, and end up in a situation that goes 16-14. I think that's actually a positive sign for Ence coming into the last two maps, because I don't think that Ence will start as slow. I think that, you know, Heroic, they're always going to go all out into Mirage, but or a start of maps, but I think they're gonna struggle on Mirage, and I think Ence is gonna clutch it out because they just have, it fits them so much better on Mirage.
I buy into that. I buy into that the Ence players also left that game with a positive feeling. Despite losing 16-14, that always sucks, but they can quickly turn it around and say, okay, we were down 8-0 on what was supposed to be our strong side, and we still made the game competitive. Now we come into our map pick, we're confident on the map, and what goes into what you're saying right here as well for Heroic, they haven't really produced any good results on Mirage as of lately. The only significant win they have against anyone out there right now in the past 2.5 months is against Fnatic, which is a team that is by definition dead right now. Outside of that, they lose against good teams on Mirage. Lately, they lost 16-5 against Ence just 3 weeks ago, so nothing really points in the direction of Heroic.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, if you look at the tape from the Blast Spring Showdown, Ence lost Overpass, but then they won Mirage, so the expectation is that they will be better there. We started off this conversation about the team with the IGLs, Snappy versus Cadian, and I want to know where we land now, because I did hear some criticism levied towards the calls, or maybe the rushes and whatnot from Snappy on Overpass. Is that correct?
Yeah, both yes and no.
Okay.
It's a little bit too easy to read sometimes on a map like Overpass. The map doesn't allow for this explosive calling out a spawn scenario we talked about a lot. Mirage does, right? That's one of those maps where you can allow yourself to do set pieces. Another thing we can't forget is that these two in-game leaders, Cadian and Snappy, they played together for a year and a half, I believe, on a couple of different teams lately in Heroic. They know each other in and out. So in terms of reading your opponent, in terms of reading each other as in-game leaders, there's like this mental game going on right now.
Yeah. Would you be able to point out someone that could take over the call and give a few ideas on Heroic, for example, to help Cadian out in a situation like this when a lot of mind games comes in?
Stown is the guy you look towards. He's very vocal in that regard. He's a smart Counter-Strike mind. Doesn't look like a player that is vocal, but he helps a lot internally with coming up with calls or coming up with ideas. Also on a map like Mirage, he's the best performer, Stown, without a doubt, from Heroic. So it makes sense to give him some of that responsibility.
Oh, he does a bit of everything then. He sometimes picks up the op, he rifles, he helps in the calling.
The best Danish player we have right now.
Is okay, what a prodigy indeed. Let's talk about pistols. We looked at it before about Heroic's pistols specifically. Now when it comes to Mirage, this is where you really have to lock that down. You also have to lock it down in the rounds after it. So what is the expectations or the task list for Heroic to not get off of the wrong foot?
I think they need both pistols, and need to be converted after. Both ecos need to be converted. Otherwise, I see a really, really tough game coming up for Heroic on Mirage, because Ence playbook is deep. They have a lot of aggressive players, a lot of gimmicky aggressive plays, which is something that plays very well on a map like Mirage.
One of the players that really comes to life when we talk about Mirage for Ence is Dyha. He is in fact the highest rated player for Ence on the last times they played Mirage. He's the guy playing connector. He's the guy going out being aggressive in middle, and he's super disruptive in the way he plays. He's not like the classic connector player that stays inside connector and tries to go for the duel late into the A splits. Nah, he want to get out there in the beginning of the rounds. He want to sometimes walk out of connector, go into underground, walk up towards the B bomb side and see if he can find someone in the back. Dyha is very proactive, and he's one of the guys that can cause a lot of problems for Heroic, especially when he's playing on the CT side.
I rarely ever see Dyha having a bad game for Ence, so I hope we'll see him shine, and then that'll bring us to the third map. Let's see what they give us on Mirage with Machine and Sponge.
Let's see, indeed. Thank you very much to Jacob, of course, Jonathan and Efya. We have got the scene set. Anything you want to add to that pile of things to look out for as we jump into map 2?
I just hope this game isn't as streaky. It's a bit more clutchy, right? Because we had a good game. It was exciting.
He's so horny for a clutch.
I just want them to go toe-to-toe because I know that the individuals on either team right now can just stand and bang, right? I think right there with how streaky it was more about, you know, who could run with the momentum. And to be fair, both of these teams are heavy momentum squads. So let's see. Is it going to be the Ence run over on Mirage like it was last time round? round, or are Heroic going to be able to offer something up here and see if they can get this one done 2-0 and lock themselves in for the playoffs, lock themselves in for the arena, and lock themselves in for some top A at the major. Spinks has been a force, though, hasn't he? He just continues to do it. You know, we got safe pair of hands, but I think we need a new name for somebody like Spinks because he quietly always gets himself up to around that 25, 30 mark. It's crazy.
Yeah, Mr. Consistent is Spinks, and it's just that land buff as well. You absolutely love to see a player who not only manages to overcome the adversity of his spawn point, you know, he had an 80 ping to try and fight his way through, but he builds off of that, finds the team that will house him and make his dreams a reality, and to have it all work out now, they've finally found the final pieces of this Ence puzzle. You know, I think they were always just shy. I mean, let's not forget that they did make a run, and they have made multiple runs. Doto over in Stockholm, it looked like it was going to be a recipe for success that they could build upon. A lot of people surprised to see Madden for Doto after that major.
Yeah, just because stylistically speaking as well, it was going to be curious how is Madden going to fit the bill of Doto, who is more supportive and more of a clutch player, whereas Madden's always been known for his individual prowess. He's a sharp tool. But this is clear that they have some very well-rounded individuals in this team that they have just picked up piece after piece. And Artu over there, I know that he will be watching his boys, and the last finished representative of the squad is the coach Saw. Let's see if this international team can take us to a third nuke. That's the third and final if we do need it, but 16 rounds need to go in the favor of Ence if we want to get there. Jacob said Dihar is a man to watch out for here. Well, he's on the lurk towards mid as the other four are heading towards B, but locking this one down is 3 players from Heroic.
Tassis is just going to be keeping his head low, jumping for that info. He's actually holding the slither on his jump, so he couldn't get any info, and that's something. Turns around, Cadian is in the box, and that's a free frag. Look at that. The first click out of all 3 members of this defense, and it's solid, but they're back in it. Hades, Diha, frag up a storm, and suddenly a 2-on-2 established. If they jump out the window, they can run him down. It's hard to bodyguard, but he gets it done. On the low HP, Diha has to play for his life, and he takes one away. Stown catches a Glock bullet to the dome. 1v2 goes 1v1. He knows where you are, and dicing with death. Diha clutches up for Ence.
The pride of Poland right there, getting a massive round on the board. That is huge right there from the two of them. They are the bookends of this team, and they book the pistol round in the favor of Ence. What a way to turn that one around.
Bro, it was
2v5.
Look at that. Look at that. 3 frags. First clicks. And then Hades does this, so Diha can do that. 2 out of him. And the third for good measure out of Diha. Lovely play. I mean, really hanging on by a thread. But Ence get the start they needed. What do we hear from our analyst desk is you really want to see the pistols and conversions if you wanted to have hope for Heroic 2-0. Well, already, that's denied. At least on the first pistol. Let's see how the conversions go. It is a force buy this time from Heroic.
Let's see what Cadian can identify with this scout posted up, because he's out of the play here, right? Unless they go towards B, he's not going to see a whole lot. Might get an opportunity with Diha dropping those nades. It signifies, aggression coming Cadian's way, but Cadian gets a move on, of course. Ants in the pants, can't sit still for very long, Mr. Cadian, as he does pivot on back to more of a passive position. Playing around connector is Tessus, and to chip on in to help out B will be Refresh, who's currently finding himself over towards that vent room. There's still 2 players poking and prodding over towards A here for Ence. So as they execute B, it could all be a bit of a ruse. Diha and Snappy. Just Snappy. Yeah, and I think they've seen enough.
Hoping to catch Shush, and already he's gooshed down low off that Galil. Actually had the helmet on. Kept him alive, and yeah, not for much longer. Tess is still on the stairs. Present CT. Cadian already scarpering over to provide and render aid.
35, they have to go A now.
Oh, it's a big find. Stown's actually been caught out in between the 2 smokes, and Cadian's going to take his place. Refresh already threatening on Snappy's mid-hold, so Madden's got a lot to deal with. Tasked with getting into the site, and the combination. A 1-2 punch. 5-7 into a scout tag, and Cadian keeps hitting him. That's a big round out of the in-game leader on the scout. They'll find some rifles as well, an AK for good measure, but Cadian with 3 on the force buy.
Yeah, I probably feel they were worth that one right there after that 2v5 pistol snatch away from Snappy and his boys. But back into the force, likely to see Ence purchase on up here. Beautiful opener there from Cadian. He pivoted back just in time. And the wombo combo with Tessus there made life nice and easy. As the Deagles come out, 5 of which This is going to come down to the individuals, and Dihar has a chance, takes a shot. The back turn from Cadian will avoid any damage. Madden as well held at bay, and Refresh, he wants to push on up. He wants to look for a bit of a fight here to establish the mid control alongside of Stown, who is in that window room. They do have a potent crossfire to deal with top mid and underpass. Blocking off the palace position throughout all of this, and trying to find some control on the map here is Ence. 2 through lower. Window smoke deployed. Incendiary dipped on out, and Refresh is going to mantle up onto the catwalk position and get on out of dodge before any problems do start to unravel. So this one has at least avoided any early threats from Ence, but a minute on the clock, and never mind. The Deagles were starting to hard press on A. Coming up ramp, shot needs to be hit. Not too good. Shush grabs another one back here, and Heroic are looking good to find the 2-1 start.
Yeah, what a dream for Heroic to immediately kind of get back into the swing of things. It's not streaky so far. Let's not forget trading blows in the first 2, and these Deagles do seem like they're just not quite going to have found what they needed to get the ball rolling. Tessus confirms our suspicions, and now it's just the last 2 of them, Spinks and Dihar. Not too shabby on a Deag. Would need a couple of quick clicks, and there's one of them. There's 2 of them. Dihar gets a lot of damage downrange. Refresh over the top. A hard adjustment for Spinks, but damn, Dihar, where'd you find those? Pulls 2 out of the void. Heroic, though, the fact that they kept 3 alive, we know a magic number there, and we'll see this again. The second is gorgeous.
Beautiful
Lovely
stuff.
Play.
Yeah, it just gets us excited. That's really about it. The flow and effects of that we won't see. Oh, maybe we will. I keep forgetting. It's snappy. I keep going and go by the norm, by the book, the type of Counter-Strike that everybody else plays. But no, it's a force buy again, some Tech-9s, a Galil. And this is where you can dig yourself a bit of an early grave if you are Ence. If you can't stay competitive in a round like this, you are going to allow Heroic to have a bit of a buffer zone. So a plant and a couple of kills is essential in a buy like this.
Yeah, and in buys like this was how the last round 16 was inscribed next to Heroic's name.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, like I'm still thinking about it. You'd be hard pressed to ask the players not to have it in the back of their minds that a fantastic call off the back of a timeout exists, likely advising them, as Devilwalk made sure we remembered.
Yeah, the coaches are some of the under-celebrated members of the cast.
Yeah, certainly. And players don't need to compliment their coach in every interview they give. You know, there is certain teams where they don't. And that's more of an indication than not. Wow, Dink exchange, better weapon though for the job is Refresh, Shush as well in support to deny this contest in mid, and one by one they trickle in and trickle down. Another round for Heroic and everyone alive. They even get to upgrade their sidearms.
That's the nightmare scenario right there if you are Ence, right? Not doing any damage whatsoever on a force buy like that. Now you will have to concede what will be an eco with some lighter upgrades. You can see those meat cleavers of Deagles being equipped onto 3 so far. I think Hades is probably going to want to be a little bit more honest in that department if he wants to get out the AWP in future rounds. Loss bonus into the next is going to be finding ourselves at the 2900 mark. He's just going to buy a Zeus. So let's see if Hades can have some fun with that. P250 in the hands of Dihar here. So an upgrade for everybody of a variety. And mid-control gifted on over.
For now.
Yeah, not the 3-man stance by any means. And Cadian into vent room, dips on back. He was spotted.
He was. May draw too much attention and enable that connector player in Stown. Madden just on the edge of that smoke. Oh, he's heard him. He's right next to him. And there's 2 targets in front. Shush good for the frag.
Yeah, thank you very much, Stown. Those sound cues beta Madden forward. Shush is there to make sure it doesn't get out of control. And things are starting to fall into place now as... Oh, Hades,
Zeus.
he doesn't want the Zeus.
No, thank
Hades,
you.
why don't you want the Zeus?
Well, he's going to try and win a window fight with a Glock. And he's got the bomb, so absolutely zero fun.
For anyone right now, even Ence fans around the world, as will just be Dihar, who has some room. I'd say he has more than some room. He has an entire bomb site to his own.
Sip of the coffee. Tidy up the mess. Take down Tessus. Just all part of the course. Gets himself a Galil and decides that no one can have that.
Yeah, that's kind of housekeeping for everybody. I don't think anybody wants that weapon by choice.
Takes it out of circulation. Oh! Oh, he's so filthy! Diha, you dirtbag! Good God, first the D, he's even pre-firing. Down might have accidentally put his head in that vice as well. Good God.
That was a lovely second shot, wasn't it? Okay, well, a bit of damage. Better than the previous force buy, and now the buy's coming on through. That was fun. D-Has given us a couple of moments here. The pistol round where he wins the 2-on-5, and then 2 rounds with some scorches on the pistolas. Bit of a pistol specialist here. I think D-Ha is, or was, this is the thing at keeping track of stats, I think he was the highest rated pistol player, and Bit was the second. And Navi have that crazy, I think they were 9-1 in pistol rounds over 5 maps of play.
That is mad.
90% conversion with 100% conversion in second rounds for Navi, but they're already in the playoffs. We can talk about them later.
Yeah, put that in your pocket. We'll come back to that. 2 with an aggressive setup. You can see Heroic are constantly throwing new looks. They want to keep Ence guessing. Admittedly, this would be the perfect call to counter it. If they can just get Madden set up in con, obviously there's a bit of a contest here. You got Madden jiggled out and not looking at Cadian. Mid, defended. Reaction is on to A. Refresh will play for the retake. So you've got the space now. The smokes are up. This is where they have to use this time. You've got 20 seconds.
Plan.
You should get the bomb down, get burrowed into some post plants. Already Heroic are actually starting to contest. Look at this from Refresh. Making a lot of steps. Trying to keep him guessing. Hades is going for something a bit too cheeky and punished immediately. Look, as the bomb goes down, they've lost 3. A flank for good measure. Snappy not ready. And one of the hardest teams to keep track of. It's Heroic. Spinks already concedes the round as he's revealed a safe defuse and cover. Easy to provide. This is being very careful with his defuse angle.
Just edging forward ever closer here, and they want to try and take this one away. Jumping on in, and they will take the fight, but that'll give Spinks his first 2 kills. Got to be careful about allowing Spinks to whir on up. And the damage that D-Hard did in the previous, sure, it hasn't shattered the economy of Heroic yet, but it's chipping away. Continues to chip away, chip away, chip away. But Ents do need to start posting something. Now, it's not an 8-0 streak out of Heroic, but it's a 5-1 start on Ence's map choice. We'll be forcing Saw into a tactical timeout to confer and have a conversation here. They can buy back in. Lost bonuses in play. The AKs are back on out. But that one right there was dealt with ease. They had no underwards ticket. It was quite a heavy mid lean. Did hear some excitement yesterday coming out of the analysts regarding the approach that NIP were having. We got to see something similar when FaZe were operating on Mirage as well, where it's a bit more of a different look into the mid default. They're throwing like a top mid ramp smoke, right? They do the top cat smoke, they do a top, and then instead of smoking window, they peer over the top of that to take some fights. I believe that NIP were doing something a little bit similar. See if teams want to quickly adopt that or want to use that, because it's chopping and changing some of the approaches.
There's the super geeky smoke Rops is throwing as well that covers both windows and B apps from spawn.
Oh yeah, yeah. Rops is real sweaty, isn't he?
I mean, like, that is a crazy powerful smoke, and this is a crazy powerful boost. They get Tessus up and across.
It's another new look.
Yeah, but every round, you poor Ents, you know, like, they just don't know what's safe. They constantly have to keep second guessing. Had this been the previous round, Diha would be susceptible to the 2-man underpass. Now they've got the 2-man apps. They can rotate off after establishing control. They parked him there. And so just constantly winning this battle for map supremacy.
Madden's close here, undetected.
This is a dream for Madden. He actually might have the jump on Stown. For once, he's found a gap. And will get that opening frag. Ents now need to build upon it. First brick is set. Tessus spotted as well. And Spinks has been cut out of the round by Shush. Madden is going into a very powerful position, but may not be aware of Refresh so close.
Bomb sitting back towards B right now, or at least top middle. 45 seconds, can reroute plenty of times. And if Snappy goes down without a frag, it's big problems now. Yeah, big problems now, as they do turn their attention towards B. Refresh should find this kill. Madden with the second in the round. Now it's on Tessus.
Oh, and he draws the fire, gets the info. Diha and Hades, again, it's the same site, the same two. This Polish duo. For national pride and for Ents, a necessary round. Got to build off that opening frag. Madden was able to provide a double in total.
Hard retake here.
Not going to be easy, and unlikely given the fight. Diha is covered by Hades. That is a must-win duel Cadian might want to preserve the AWP now, albeit with lots of cash in the coffers. Gets a frag on the way out the door.
Can't go for it. The kits are all down towards the short or window position right now, so even if you wanted to jump on in, it would just mean that Hades has to dance with him. Cadian does not have enough time, and holding onto this AWP is the best option he has right here, right now. So confirm the second, and working into this half now, Ence, but it's not going to be easy, right? You see how difficult some of these situations are, especially if Heroic keep throwing these more team-based, funky maneuvers your way. That one right there, they just got caught by the information play of Diha there, and then they had to backpedal. They didn't stick to their guns. They didn't want to continue the push. They actually smoked to get on out. And during all of that, that mid-avenue was stifled. Now, Stown, we know that he does like a bit of a secondary AWP here. He's going to be bringing it out quite early into round number 8.
Another different look. Another setup deviation from Heroic. And they are setting up for something ramp early. This is interesting. You can see Snappy's already got the flash in hand. He's letting their rifles work. And just off the flash, Madden completely cancelled. Doesn't pull the trigger on the flashbang. Vision's restored, but his life might be taken from him at the hands of Hades. Spinks very, very susceptible to a single HE. There is not one in play. And they're just rushing the plant. This could go down uncontested, and Nade's not going to stop it. Tess is still on to Diha, though, and he is a high flyer for Ence. We're going to need some of the unlikely candidates. Snappy yet to frag. Spinks going around the world on the low HP will work. But Hades and Snappy have to keep them at bay.
Kits and smokes for this. They can make this retake work, Heroic. They have everything they need to pull this off.
Quick from Spinks. He is still going to be viable to contest. It's a default plan. Multiples in front of him. Still mows down 2. Will go down, but the distraction in the round looked like a certainty. Stown trying to close the gap. Where's that kid? It's on refresh. He tries his luck and not to be. It's 3. And Snappy still yet to frag, but leaves victorious.
That's a nice one there. Yeah, yet to get a kill, but wins out the clutch of the one-on-one against Stown right there. The AWP conserved or preserved in this situation, as there is enough money to go for yet another buy here from Heroic. But Ence are now whittling down the finances here and bringing themselves back into the game. A great one there from Spinks. Very effective on low HP, right? The fact he gets 2 out of that whole situation. And keep in mind, he's gone around the world. The bomb isn't even planted on the triple box. It's on the opposite side of default box. So sure, he would have been able to push up through connector and take a fight towards that position, but it wasn't one that he could just deny from catwalk. So having to be active and showing his worth right here, as Heroic are going to take a little bit of a tactical timeout here to have a chit-chat between Exist, the coach, Cadian, the in-game leader, and the same can be had on the other side. So this is starting to shape up to be a decent T-half for Ence now. Both teams can remain threatening it around like this. Cadian can drop Tessus here, but maybe he wants to conserve cash for an AWP in future rounds. So yeah, Tessus will just be left with a 5-7. No, there you go. He dropped him on the way out. All right, fair enough. They made it work. I thought that maybe Cadian wanted to keep that cash for a future AWP, but now Tessus has a wasted $500 5-7. Might not be a problem. Just keeping track of the little details here. As we set up for what should be another A play. 2 smokes towards mid, 1 cat, 1 window, and all 5 ready to jive. Just
rolling back the years. I mean, AXX off spawn. When was the last time this was a viable strategy?
Well, there's 2 tucked in towards site here. Cadian to oversee business with the AWP, and the X factor is refresh. He needs to get multiple kills from this position. They're going to bait him on in.
Drops a smoke to contest around. Spinks from the palace side.
Making it look like a retake here. Refresh needs to find something.
Yeah, and this is his moment, and already 2 down, 3 with a 1 mag. He has won the round. They strike in unison. Stown and Refresh repel the invaders.
That's exactly what you want. If you're going to put a player in a position like that, the entire option is to allow them to make a way into the site. Think that things are clear. Think that they're playing a retake setup, and then strike in unison. Use Refresh's position to catch them off guard, and when they turn their attention to deal with him, you push through the smokes, you take those fights, and you close it down for the 6th heroic round now. The Danes keeping a 3-round lead, but guess what? Ence are about to bite back in a big way. Straight towards A one more time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, I know it didn't work, but surely Heroic won't go for the same type of play, and that is the right call. Snappy calling the bluff of Cadian now. His troops are setting up their util, and the site not as fortified this time round.
Yeah, and look at the 4 nades, 4 smokes sailing through the sky. What can you do in response? Heroic turn around. Stown the only one to try and find a way through. Look at this wall to enable and facilitate a plant. D has a plant now default. Ence investing all of their nades, and it's enabled the plant. Now they've got to hold on to it, Chad, and this is the hard part.
No utility to do so here, but guess who has a lot? Heroic with everything they could wish for. Smokes, flashes, HGs to make it work, and the fight's going their way too. 3 more kills required.
Madden's trying his luck now, but it requires Spinks to hold a couple of kills out of Spinks. Compulsory nades bring him down low. Just got to survive. Hades does reveal himself from the ramp. That's great to hopefully bait for Madden on this round-the-world maneuver. Nice find! It's only the one they're defusing.
Knock him off the
Got to
bomb.
unload this. Doesn't get refresh and still holds his nerve for the 7th. Okay, Ence, they can get into these sites, but they cannot leave with the round.
Oh, that one was crazy right there. An extra nade under the head of Spinks. It could have been his undoing. He went unchecked over towards that ninja box right there. It's so crazy to me. The tight. We used to call that tight execute. Quite literally, we used to run that back in my heyday, 7 years ago. 7 years ago, that execute was when it was in vogue right there. To see it getting pulled out now, to see it getting pulled out in the last 6 months shows you that, yeah, you can bring back some old strats out of the grave here.
I mean, Snappy's been doing this a long old time, pre-CSGO. I mean, chasing this as a professional career since 2008. You know, I think Carrigan is 2007. He's gotten beat by a year.
Now, 2008, and Snappy has not had a playoff berth at a major. So this is his team, the best team that he has ever had, the highest in the world he has ever been with a squad like this. Very skilled individuals around him and trying to lead them to that stage here in Antwerp. The plant's great. It does get them with a buy back. Snappy yet to get a kill, and you'd love to get your in-game leader activated now. He's one of these players who can drop 30 frags, but at the moment, very shy of that mark. This could be the changing of the tune. If he does get a kill, and they go back to A again. Stubborn indeed. And Spinks this time will decapitate Katie, and that's the opening kill in favor of Ence as they're going to continue their jaunt forward. The smokes are in the air. Here they come.
That's not an easy duel. And this is very cheeky. He's been checked. 2 frags to the good. Ence have space, have frags. Spray in the box this time, no refresh. Hiding in plain sight, and it seems like Heroic have decided to give him this one.
Okay, well, they just continue to ram their head against this brick wall, but they are starting to find some cracks. They are starting to break on through. 4 now confirmed as the bomb about 35 seconds left on the clock. It's a major debut from Madden, from the most recent addition to the team. Last time round, the 4 of these individuals with Doto, as we touched on, were at the major, but they're having their second crack at it with an upgrade in the firepower department. And a major debutant here who was starting to find some impact over there on Overpass. Looking to do the same here on Mirage.
Yeah, and I remember seeing Madden. He was called upon, wasn't he? I seem to remember I saw him alone in an Ence jersey, eating his dinners every day. I think he showed up to stand in for Snappy.
Yeah, one of the events we did towards the tail end of last year in Stockholm.
It was, winter, I
Snappy
think.
was unable to travel. That's obviously when we had a few more restrictions as far as travel went, and Snappy was unable to make it. Madden was called on in. He went on over. He played 1 day of Counter-Strike. And then Snappy was fortunately able to get on that plane and make his way on over. But there must have been something about the way that Madden played himself within that team that the squad liked, because they picked him on up.
I mean, to show up and only get the 1 day of play, they didn't practice with him afterwards. I mean, when Snappy shows up, Snappy's going to be playing and scrimming. So to turn enough heads to eventually end up on the roster that now is firmly in the top 5 in the world. Can they secure a 3rd map in this battle and race for playoffs? They're up against a good adversary in Heroic, but Spinks is actually caught down. Hard fight to win.
2 openers in a row from him as well.
Provide an opening from Palace. Yeah, he not only caught Katie in the previous, this time long-range spray into Stown. They're doubling up in dark. And understandably, how often have they been hit with these A takes? It looks like they're actually just dumping all their util onto Snappy and asking him to facilitate. But if Madden walks in to be first, it's a full commit. Nades are in their hands. Careful, Diha. He has to try and save them now. Damage inflicted onto Shush. Do they commit? Snappy's responsible. Oh, and he will take his first 2 frags in quick succession. Cadian spotted out on CT, and now the duel is lost on B. It is a 2-on-2, but you know it's only Cadian on A. Molotoved off. Flash for good measure. Buying space to get the bomb down. Cadian can contest, and on the way back, he hits it. Snappy silence. Spinks to come up clutch. 2. Regrouping. In traditional Heroic fashion, he opts for sandwich. But will it be Heroic to make the meal of it? Man advantage, grouped up, Spinks. About to be cleared. Shadow betrays. Needs another. Can't find it. And that's Heroic playing it by the book. An 8th secure. The man advantage used and plied to enable an 8th. They will win out the half here at round 12.
Beautiful stuff right there. Good work to get back into that one. Looking good for Ence. Spinks unable to pull up the clutch right there, committed towards that sandwich position, and once it was noted, Tassus just had to close it on down. And look, I say just, it's not easy to be trading in a situation like that, but that's the opener onto Stam. This is the Snappy double. They lined up perfectly for him, and this is the important one, because if Snappy gets across and is able to fortify himself in that position, then it becomes real issues for Heroic on the way back in. So a big find from Katie in there as we are back into the buy. The double orbs brought back out here as the vent boost in play. Should be up, and he could take a fight here quickly, but he can also slow down the jaunt of Madden, who might want to make his way quickly up short.
Yeah, and another opening from Spinks.
He's just walking out on his own here. A is his playground right now. 3 rounds, 3 openings from Spinks over towards the A side.
And still Ence haven't been able to build off of them every time.
Oh, this is a bit more of a change-up in their approach right here. They aren't just being stubborn and continuing to slam their head in towards this A bomb site. But guess what? It looks like Heroic are reading this. A classic Katie and Cole. 3 looking for info now over towards Short, and the head surely spotted. Madden didn't see him.
Now he strikes, but where's that AWP? Where's the support? Nothing for Hades in the form of a response. Tess is going looking. Hades is good for it. It's just Cadian. Just refresh the tip of the head. Snappy taps.
Is Cadian looking to save here, or is he thinking it's B right now? I guess the finances aren't great for Heroic here, so save. The most likely option on the agenda. If Hades posts up from short over towards B, that means that Cadian, his position will be stuck over towards market. They don't know exactly where he is, but he will be able to catch them if he does push on forward. Snappy starting to hunt this one down. Lost bonus into the next round of play, only 1,400. To remove this AWP would mean a lot. The X factor into the next round would be gone. Spam. Cadian knows they're coming. Or at least they were. They had a look, and apparently that's enough. They don't want to give anything over here.
Yeah, it would have been a real prize, wouldn't it, taking that AWP out?
I felt firsthand against Cadian on LAN when he saved an AWP. Into the next round, he punished us really, really quite harshly. He had a double collat round.
Oh.
On Cobble.
Oh.
Yeah.
Double collapse. What are we talking? He's peeking the doors.
No. Chatty B was a fan of fast Counter-Strike back in the day. He was boosted up behind the statue and got 2 doubles onto the platform.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
Heart-wrenching. yeah.
I think we still won the map.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Cobble was your best map.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that map.
Rest in peace, Cobble.
Ence think Mirage is their best map. It's the map they've won twice and the best of one so far in the Legend stage. So right now, undefeated in the Legend stage on Mirage. Taking their 3rd time out. Going to have a discussion here of how they can pull this half home, and they're in a really good position to do so because Heroic have to force buy, right? I said 1,400 loss bonus. When you have 1,400 loss bonus, you're force buying. You have to. You don't really have a choice, right? So they're going to do exactly that. They'll get 1 M4 out. They'll have the retained AWP in the hands of Cadian and pistols again. Now, if you missed Overpass, that 16-14 scoreline round, exactly like this, is how Heroic were able to just get across the line on their CT side. Are they going to do it to Ence again? Are they going to break the hearts here of this international squad? Decoy over towards window. That early sound cue, surely very telling.
Smoke's in the sky. They are coming to have a look at the B apartments. If a flash of Tessus is seen... Oh, Cadian actually going to have to try and find mid-frags here, and he fired off the shot. They know where he is. He's being run down. Does get around the corner before the smokes do fade.
Oh, seen enough, have Ence. Rotating back quite quickly here. Diha's just going to have a look on his lonesome and needs to be very, very careful right now because Cadian's coming on over.
Oh, Cadian. He's doing a lot with this orb. He'll move around now. Madden is, however, between 2 ferns. Takes down Tessus and has the opportunity to lock down this road. Are they going through? What's the fresh? Yeah, meets the AK of Madden.
Cadian's here, though. They've rotated again into the right position, have Heroic.
A recurring theme, Chad, for this one. So at least they're in the right place, and a good shot out of Shush puts them once again on notice. Oh my God, Shush! He's taken down Spinks! 2 clicks of the D to make a round out of this, and denied now as it's a triple out of Madden. But the Deegs of both Dhat and Shush have dropped our jaws on Mirage alone, closing the gap to just a 2-round deficit. Could be one, considering the finances of Heroic. That was a cobbled together by...
Well, they do it again, right? And it'll be similar scenes here. This time around, lacking an AWP and lacking an M4, but they'll have the trusty MP9 in the hands of Shush. A couple of 5-7s and a couple of Deagles for good measure. 5 smokes.
Another 8-7 half.
Yeah, this time it has been a bit more of a back and forth affair, not those crazy long streaks. Great flash.
Oh, so good. Both of them are so blind. He actually, while flashed, manages to recover and drop the flames to stop that from spiraling.
Oh, they're all here in mid right now. They're ready to fight. Heroic want a biff.
Yeah, we've seen this before, haven't we? Run him down, long range on that MP9, and it's just off on the spray. Spinks cannot afford to die. Cannot afford to die. The nade brings him down to 39.
It's a race to be.
Refresh is there, spotted out now and down. Hades knows his presence short, that's confirmed,
Nice
but
shot.
Tessus has hit a banger there. So now they will not only have the man advantage for this, but Tessus from the apps early keeps this very high pressure. Madden and Hades to try and keep that 1-round game. Weapons advantage and some util available.
No kit.
Hades just focused on the apartments.
They have to go.
Here they come. Madden revealed. Tracks the other. They're closing now. And a good shot out of Hades. He's done more than you could ask. 8-7. Ence tie things up in a highly competitive game of Mirage, trying to force a third. Overpass, it was a full 30 rounds, and it seems we're going in a similar direction, Chad.
I know Heroic didn't win that round, but I love how responsive they are, right? When you think about how that one lines on up, what was one of the common themes that we saw from Ence? A, execute. So they allow this situation to go on where they throw the flash, Shush goes forward for information and sees them just posted up looking for a fight. When they do that, they understand that it isn't going to be an A execute, right? You'd be normally have more players back lining up utility, right? This time around, they go, oh, it's more likely a default, so they all come back and collapse on middle, and then they fight and swarm middle as a unit and try and isolate Jules against Ence. And they were able to do that, but the buy was so brittle, they weren't able to get in, and Ence, they salvage another half, and they're looking good to take us to that third map decider of Nuke. If they could shut things down now on their defensive side. Julie's for Snappy. Spinks is, oh, not live. That's a false start in business. As, we will get a restart quite quickly here. This is where it's going to get quite tough for Heroic, I think. Because now you're going to have to break through all these individuals events, and we have seen patches of brilliance from all of them. Not quite sure what the tech issue is, but I'm sure we'll get it solved very, very quickly here.
Yeah, 70 rounds, definitely not to be snuffed at. And considering the way in which Heroic, I believe they won that pistol.
No, they lost the 2v5, that's right.
That's right, yeah, sorry. To the
It was the force buy that was even better, though.
Hades and Dhat, and then they whipped out the scout. Cadian gets 3. And immediately just started running away with the lead, didn't they? It was a run of 5 before we saw Ence back on the board. So 5-1 was the score, into 5-3, into 7-3, 7-4, 8-5, 8-7.
Just a bit of an update here going on at B stream right now. G2 versus Outsiders in its third map. So if you'd like to check that one out, twitch.tv/PGL_CSGO for all that action. One of those two teams will be eliminated at the end of the series.
We are live. Lining up something geeky as Tessus. Watch that one sail through the sky to help these B-boys in. Spinks has the HE though. Big on a pistol if you can get it right. Oh, and he's just pre-firing. Snappy, blind as a bat, sprays down 2 on the Julies. Spinks does just have to slow him down. Survival. The name of the game. Swung on now. Whoa. Quick out of the Cadian Glock. So now the plant, not even the priority. They just want to take space. Look at him. He's in. There's a smoke on the fade. They're not going to expect this, Chad. They're not going to expect this. And Cadian's coming round if they don't finish off by Stown. Madden. Booked. Tapped. And Heroic already set for success to take this pistol. Trading blows, trading pistols on Mirage. Unless Hades has his way. 3 hiding in plain sight. Taking engagements as a unit makes sense. And yeah, he's running out of time. Running out of options. Nice tap onto the first. And now it's just a question of his utility, or rather what he can get away with. Take another one down with him. They're all on the site with him. Everyone's going to go down if they're not careful. And there you have Heroic 9. They'll take the opening round of their T campaign.
Okay, well, making amends for the pistol round in the first half right there. Snappy does get 2, but this is a 3-on-5 falling in the favor of Heroic right there. So brilliant stuff from them. And they will be getting the bio on the board early. But of course, Ence are going to be force buying into their own. That was the Snappy double out of the Julies. Perfect work. He was on the AD. Able to munch them away there, but a ballsy play from Cadian. And this one here, I was surprised to see him taking his time on that duel. And he does get the necessary kills required, and they do force Ence into a force bite. D-Hard didn't stick the landing right there, but doesn't work. You always pretend like underpass was the play, and if he is on out, can get an opening kill. This one's back on. Tessus into the trade, and fast up short they go.
Yeah, they're charging, Chad. This actually could be very quick into the Deagle of Snappy. He's been something spotted close to him, and Hades is going to miss his first opportunity to soften him up for these pistols. You can see the bouncing SMG just keeping the spray going, constantly suppressed in the round. I can't believe it's already over. Heroic, no issues in converting their second round.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been a problem because there's so many bodies responding to that, but they were ready for the heads-up Counter-Strike. They flattened Ence in that one, and now they're just 6 rounds away from securing this series 2-0. And surely Snappy's not crazy enough to go for a force bar on this ET side. This has to be them relenting and taking a bit of a save round here. Madden spinks into Deagles already. Snappy with a P250. D-Hard's going to get himself the $700 hand cannon as well, and it's just Hades onto that economical. 2,900 as the lost bonus into the next. Always happy to operate in the lighter buy variety are Ence. Blocks the smoke.
Lovely work. Dio with a 1-2 step doesn't manage to live on, but Madden at least holding them here at the gate. Initially.
Yeah, if that smoke had actually come on through and created a gap and we found ourselves into something a little bit close, like a 3-on-3 or 3-on-4 or something along those lines where maybe there's enough Ence members to be threatening alive, then you could go, yeah, big thumbs up to D-Hard there, but just unfortunate that they scouted so quickly.
It has become a feature of Mirage specifically, hasn't it? There's a lot of kind of smokes that people can block. We know the connector player has been getting good at blocking those.
Yeah, smokes and Mirage, hot topic.
Oh yeah, what am I doing? What's your favourite dance move, Chad? What's your go-to?
The 1-2 step.
It is? I knew it would be.
Yeah.
We're talking like a box, the box step?
I was just thinking of a Missy Elliott song.
Oh.
Everybody 1-2 step.
That's a reference that will go over the heads of many.
I apologise to all of our viewers.
You have to reference someone like Lil Xan. That's more their cup of tea. Degenerate teenagers.
Do they like the
Lil
sad boy
Xan,
music?
not our fans, aren't they? Not. I was just saying Lil Xan is a degenerate.
All right.
Woof, God, that was close.
Saved.
Yeah.
Clipped and shipped.
Oh dear.
It's all right. It's all right. Let's see if we can do some shipping right now of this Ence CT half.
Yeah, we've got some teenagers, but they're already achieving more than most of us
ever will.
Ever will. Yeah, it's amazing what Ence and Heroic are up to today. Do we get more to play with here? Looks like D is going to extend play with a nice one onto Refresh. That will send them packing out of mid and already starting to regroup back towards A.
There's still 2 on A, so look at this. Madden just standing behind the triple box has the Overwatch of Hades AWP here, and he is actually going to batten down the hatches. A smoke and a Molotov to work with here as part of this defense. So if it is high in the sky with Util right now out of Heroic, Madden will be able to slow it with Util of his own. And, well, D-Har still hanging around connector.
Let's see how this works out. See if...
Okay, so that flash was quite truly just to understand if there was an AWP on site, right? Deep flash, they hear an AWP shot, and now they know what type of execute they can work with.
Oh, that's geeky. I see what you're saying. So a different setup, knowing that they do have to contend with the AWP of Hades. And it does also pull out that reactionary smoke. There's not many left in that department. There's one.
Well timed.
Well, there's one.
That's
with
a huge gap.
Ooh, careful now. If anyone goes looking or just walking off the flash, here
push.
he comes. Reacts, Madden, one and done. Nice shot out of Hades through the corpse into the head of Shush. Heroic running out of opportunities now, running out of chances. It has to be A. And over the top of the smoke, it's going to be struggling as Cadian, just the one. Solid haul out of there. Ence and react to that. Building off of that opening frag, Refresh goes down pretty simple at the start, thanks to Diha. But the regroup A is handled.
Plenty of money right now for a heroic buy, so they're just going to piece this one together here. No timeout taken, no discussions to be had, just buying straight back in. So both teams are going to have almost everything they want. Plenty of rifles on the board, AWPs for both primary AWPers of Cadian and Hades kits to play with right now for Ence. But winning consecutive rounds is more important for them because they are one map loss away from having to stomach a 2-2 draw tomorrow. Look at this from Cadian. Pepper the step, very quick about this. He is being spotted on out right now. Hades has found that opening kill, and there's a trade on back. Hades is down, finishes him on off.
Oh, it's a big one back from Spinks. He just slides back into the fight. 10 HP in it. And oh my lord, Cadian tries a Hail Mary. Snappy just about got there in time. Tried to take the space on window. Dentis tries his luck on the fade and does dunk one. Just about gets away, perhaps not ready for refresh. Never mind. Diha was good for it all. In a 1v3 with 10 HP, he's gone too. And it's going to close in that gap. Just not able to grab the secondary.
Yeah, look, that's the thing. As long as you get Hades, his big green, that's all that matters right here. Just get Hades his AWP, make sure that he can be tidy with that big green, because I think that he can be extremely effective on a map like this. 13 kills to his name right now. Leading the pack is Madden, 16. Goal for Spinks. And here's Spinks on your screen. Great work from him and handling this. So it was quite pacey, right? Heroic were trying to biff in mid, biff over towards A, take as much room as they could, but now they're going to have to be on a bit of a lighter buy.
Yeah, already Hades has taken one down. Tessus swatted away. Diha does the same. And everyone's won their duel. Only that Stout rifle. He had to get something out of it, didn't he? And it's just the one.
Oh, do they want to buy right now? Shush has 3.3, Tessus has 3.7. So a conversation to be had, and well, you can see that is the case by the timeout, but this is good. It feels like Ence are handling this now, right? I know that they're still trailing right now by one round, but these two defensive rounds consecutively have been well handled.
Yeah, and they're trailing significantly. For a one-round deficit, they're trailing significantly in the frag department. You can see, look at that, 4 members of Heroic, 17 frags. Rare to see a team sync up to that extent, but you can see there is a large discrepancy in that from the first half.
Ooh, Cadian into the AWP. Refresh into an AK, so they are going to buy behind this. A Mac 10 actually, so Refresh is going to take the Mac 10 out of all of this. He's actually gifted an AK over.
Yeah, well, he saw his Mac 10 try and make space short. That was at least kept by Diha. Big round of play then.
Yeah, it's curious, right? Mac 10 and an AWP in the same round. So you think Mac 10 fast, you think AWP slow, default heavy, looking for picks, and looking for picks is what Cadian's AWP is going to signify early. Just taking a shot as well. Let's Ence know what they're up against here. Shush looking to play on the extremity right now, lurking the A apartments position, while the other 4 are leaning more over towards the B side of the map. You can see stalled out passively top mid is Tessus with the oversight of Cadian's AWP. They might want to try and get them moving here. Like, throw out the execute B smoke, see if you can force a rotation of Ence right now, because they have a very solid defense set on up. Well, the smoke deployed towards connected will buy them a bit more buffer over towards middle, but as we can see with the radar top left of the screen, there's no worries right now at all. Heroic went from being very pacey, very on your face, to very slow and maybe very methodical, as window has been smoked. Okay, bit of space. What comes next?
Hades talking a lot. And a chance onto Tessus. Immediate response from Cadian. In the next frame, he pulls the trigger. Shush just fired off a shot. Noted in Palace. Heavy mid from Heroic. And that's with the bomb as well. It's Refresh's responsibility. Charging through now. The smoke to obscure the short play. Diha just sprays his mag through the smoke. Good for it. Spinks meets Cadian again, and with 10 seconds, they are starting to plant. Cancelled now, and that's a defense. Diha, a triple kill as they come to his bomb site again. They might have to start changing their plans, because Diha's consistently foiling them.
Yeah, Jacob spoke about on the desk Diha in this position and how he can be a force to be reckoned with, and he's living up to that praise. 16 kills for him in total now. He's going to join Hades on that mark.
Oh my lord, just checking over. I had a glance over at the B stream. Cover your ears and eyes if you're one of those. If not, I mean, a reminder, this is 1 win, 2 losses. The loser's home. and not in the playoffs. G2 Outsiders going the distance, and it is just tit for tat.
Dust 2, that third map, I believe.
Whew.
Great map for Outsiders here to pull an upset victory on the previous major grand finalists. Hey, exec, taking a page out of Snappy's book here.
Yeah, a lot of smokes in the sky now. Let's see how Diha handles business. It's his bomb site for a reason. 1.5. Madden's there as well in the feed. He can spotted another on the bounce, run down, but Diha, regardless of the smoke, regardless of the flash, is good for a frag. Cadian is trying to be a rat about it.
Yeah, very cheeky. Going to guarantee the plan here, Cadian. He's in the site. He's getting the bomb down. And Shush is dead, so now they know exactly where that play is coming on through. But it's Cadian Mirage with a P250. I don't think so.
No, he's never done anything like that before. There's absolutely zero precedent for him doing anything with this pistol against 4 fully bought up opponents. Thank you, Snappy. And happy with that bomb plan on B.
Yeah, look, if you're going to go for a play like that, I can understand. That's ripping a page out of the old school strat book right there. You guys go rush the other side and I'll plan. We've all seen that one before.
Hey, everyone gets extra cash so they can get all of their goodies, all of their gadgets and gizmos.
Well, Ence have taken the lead up to 12. Heroic just trailed by 1, but if you take a look at the slew right now, it has been 5 consecutive rounds here. That third map, if we do need it, once again highlighted at the top of your screen, Nuke, the decider. Snappy versus Cadian, Danish in-game leaders on Nuke, their home turf, where the Danes have been known to do their absolute best work. Maybe if you forget about that Copenhagen Flames game against FaZe earlier.
Hold on. This could be over quickly. Look how quick the frags come through. There were so many members there, and they're going to keep fighting. D has dumping util. They're ready for any engagement should it come their way. Dia thinks better of it. Smoked off. Hiding out in the window. They got all of their util still, Chad. You get so many frags without having to throw too much. They can go anywhere with this. And Diha, just as it fades, so does the chances of finding the main body of the assault. Problems now. It's Diha and Madden. Still Madden, still pre-fire, still alive somehow. Some way, some shape and form. Madden tagged down even further. Can't believe he's coming through. Gets a chance to take down Shush as well. 3 frags from Madden. In the face of adversity to extend their lead and edge closer to that third map.
They know where he is.
Yeah. Kit present for both. Smoke as well. Madden's even going up and over. That's exactly what Stan's re-aiming, and he's knocked the first down. Hades trying to be smart about it. Holding his spray. Stan assumes it's a fake, and he's just holding it because he's a pro. Hades clutches up without a bullet fired. That's great work. The power of a kit, the power of a smoke combined. Ence maintain their spree. It's 6 rounds now on the trot. 2 defuses back to back.
Oh, Stan right there. You're going to feel real hard done by. You don't even get an opportunity to play that round out. And think how this one kicked on off. We're getting the highlights right now from Ence. But it started with 2 opening kills for Heroic in middle. It was looking bleak for Ence. And then they're in a 1-on-2 situation, just sit the defuse. You can see Madden get fired up. Back into a buy, plant through again. Max loss bonus short, going to break through.
Yeah, they need an answer. It's Ence that have the luxury now of constantly rejigging your CT setups. You want to keep that Heroic side just unable to pinpoint as to what they have to skirt around.
How did Madden get so much down over towards that jungle position? 22 kills in total now as they try and ward away another attack. Tessa's top mid, but the rest walking out ramp.
Yeah, and it's perfect, actually. It's only going to be house kept by Madden. Playing it very safe. He's just a flash of him there. You can see Cadian is going to lose his life. Snappy, 1 and done. But aggressive from Madden, using that smoke he's dropped to peek around and keep them caged. Nice from Shush as well. Heroic may have found something to hold on to, something substantial into round 25. Still to clear out mid, and Spinks with a crucial frag. With Tessa's gone, we've got still a level 3v3. Can change quickly. They're rotating through, ready to acknowledge the commitment. Diha knows where they are. Concedes the plant. And on the way back, Hades does not slip up. Refresh is gone. Stan back on the AWP. It's a big headshot out of Shush, and Heroic will take it thanks to the 2 of them. Stavn and Sjuush, the two names that be at the tip of your tongue, deliver when it matters most.
Oh, that's a big round to break on through there with, because when you look at the finances right now, they are whittling Ence down. And this is a conversation that I always like to have with the CT side. It's great to be able to get into a game and give yourself a lead like this, but when the scoreline is close, if you lose a couple of consecutive rounds late, your finances are broken, and it's going to be harder to defend on the CT side with lower buys. The Ts get to dictate the pace on low buys. They get away with a couple of executes. But here, look, they're already light on as far as util. And that right there is an opening. Refresh in combination with Sjuush take down Madden. He's been such a hero. 22 kills, leading the charge right now for Ence, and the rest of them have to get it done without him.
Cadian's so confident they're not going to re-peek. Just turns his back, stares at the flames, and they are on their way back. Making sure the utility's in the right place. Spink's very far forward.
They have a lot of mid control, right? Because Hades is AWPing underpass. So if they try and walk underpass, Hades should get this kill. How diligent is Oh, the timing. The timing for Stavn right here.
Yeah, but if he does still strike on Cadian and then addresses the potential of underpass, surely now he'll post up for it. So Stavn about to walk on in to his death. Unless Dia's frag pulls Hades away and no one's going to be addressing that underpass position. Doesn't matter when Spinks is going to have time to turn around. Well, just as Heroic started to celebrate, just as they break Ence's spree, that's immediately put them back in the dirt.
That was with an opening pick as well. So the last couple of rounds, Heroic have been doing better in that department, but are just having a hard time breaking through here. This is a fantastic defense from Ence now. The third timeout call for Heroic. Last few opportunities right now to try and get this one done in a 2-0 fashion. Otherwise, we will be going through to the third map, and it's fitting. These two teams have definitely been battling hard. A close matchup today, and on your screen right now, you can see the B-Stream update. Outsiders taking on G2. If you want to see how that one concludes, head on over to twitch.tv/PGL_CSGO. You can also search it on the YouTubes and watch it in 4K. You can rewind, all that good stuff. But speaking of good stuff, I'm sure we have more to come our way, as Cadian again is into the AWP. He has 20 kills to his name. It's not like he's been a non-issue in this matchup. His team might have to call on him right now to find them a way on in. Because it's not like they, as I said, it's not like they're lacking openings, but yeah, it's not going to be with the AWP. It's going to have to be a great call. That's what it comes down to right now for Cadian. Right? Even if he gets a bunch of kills, fine, but it needs to be the call, warning shot.
An early util dump out refresh. You can see he wants to force something, but had to do it relatively conservatively.
This is different from Madden, seeing him up close and personal towards the ramp, and it might be the perfect position if they do execute A. If they don't throw a close flash, he should get at least one and slow down their push in towards the site. Might even hear a couple of nades being pinned here from this forward position.
He's given it up. Doesn't want to be the reason for another opening. Oh, he spotted them now, and just a smoke on the ramp is going to slow them down. They'll have to come through Palace first. Madden trying to do it all and does go one and done. It's Hades AWP on the site. Dia as well chips away. Another from Hades on this defense. Cadian's AWP trying to clutch up. Hades is having absolutely none of it. It's just taking it in turns. If you can't get through Madden, if you can't get through Dia, you have to get through Hades. And each one of them taking it in turns in the spotlight. 3 kills this time added to the Hades total.
All right, well, looks like Ence have done enough here. They've denied the plant. They made sure that bomb couldn't go down. Max lost bone to shore. It's been a conversation throughout here for Heroic. They're going to buy into this one. Sjuush will buy a deagle on the way out of spawn, so they're late onto this, and they're just heading over towards A. This is feeling like it's lacking an idea or two. Cadian forward, Cadian down. This one is looking done and dusted now. Flashing over towards A. Hades has been a hero. He is blind for a moment. They have slipped on by. Never mind, Madden is here to finish off business.
Yeah. Stick and fork in this one. It's not done. A double out of Sjuush. The Deeg and nade combined. Ence was so close to standing up and getting ready for nuke. But Heroic and Sjuush specifically sit them back down.
This is still so difficult for Heroic to get into here. Look at the HP right now of Refresh. 5 points of health remaining. Sjuush has been fantastic here. 23 kills for him. Snappy has removed himself from play by checking out What's going on over towards the other side of the map? He will be securing the fact it isn't B, and as Diha rounds the corner, he might just get the easiest kill of his life. Thank you very much, and one to find.
And a second for good measure. Diha, the savior, nearly got a bit awkward there, as we do see a third map required. For a spot in the playoffs, it will now become a best of one between Ence and Heroic. This has been the closest affair we've seen in a good couple of days, Chad.
Yeah, another close map, another highly contested map of play, and I'm really excited to get on over to Nuke. I think right now, out of Heroic, they're going to be feeling like they had a few opportunities on this T side that they weren't able to convert right here, but both teams picking up their map choice. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see when a spot in the playoffs is on the line.
Yeah, lay it all out there, as I'm sure our panel will. Let's head back over to Efya and the boys.
Thank you very much. Yep, the mic should be here, not there. Thank you very much. And indeed, in terms of wanting to have the teams pick up their own map picks, in terms of confidence, in terms of kind of what we expected, that is how it went. But I feel like much like the first map, here on Mirage, we saw a lot of different parts to the game, and Ence won it, but there were also times where Heroic found their stride. But do we have to go back to the conversation about Heroic's T-side that we alluded to in the beginning or not?
Yes and no. I think the T-side was okay for Ence. For Heroic, not really, but I think that's more so Ence being strong on the CT side.
Yeah.
They are struggling right now, Heroic. You called it, for Heroic to make this game competitive, they need to win both pistols and convert. They didn't win the first pistol, but they won the follow-up force buy and then actually got off to a 5-1 start. They were up 3-0 in the second half, so essentially they're leading both the beginning of the half 8-1, and still the game